Mathias Cormann has been elected to the top job at the OECD. Despite the loopy climate cultists, they're all going nuts and we've got someone from the Liberal Party. Congratulations from outsiders to Mathias Cormann as Secretary-General. He will lead the OECD Secretariat and Council, which is the organisation's overarching decision-making body composed of ambassadors from 37 member countries and the European Commission. One of those ambassadors was actually my dad, which is why I spent some time in France when I was a child. Mr Cormann described it as a privilege and an honour to take up the leadership of the OECD. We then got a bit of language, Rita and James. I got a bit nervous when we got Mathias started coming out. I know English isn't his first language. He speaks 15 different bloody languages, including every Walloon, Flemish version and dialect. But he started saying, we need genuine and ambitious... I can't do the Terminator voice, but anyway, we need genuine and ambitious activity on climate change. And there's a big job to be done to help drive stronger, cleaner, fairer, more inclusive growth. Inclusive growth, seriously? This from the most conservative finance minister of our Conservative Party? We're doomed, aren't we, Rita?
Well, I'm not so sure. I'm not about to write him off because of that. He has upset the global warming enthusiasts greatly. He beat his main competitor was Europe's preferred candidate from Sweden. So this was, I think, in many ways a little bit of a surprise, and it's a huge achievement, and he can have enormous influence there, and you do hope he does not get captured by the lunatics, and I don't think he will. I mean, he wasn't going to be turned by Malcolm Turnbull and the other climate cultists in Australia. I don't think the ones in Europe.
You've just got to drop that word inclusive from the language, James, and maybe.
Well, yeah, but look, I mean,
it means something else now.
But if Mathias Cormann is he's a man who knows a lot of languages, and he's gone to a new country, essentially this OECD, and he's got to pick up a few phrases to get by and get through. I don't care. That's fine. That's what he has to do. But I think the more interesting thing about this, Rowan and Rita, is that the reason why I believe he was picked and came out ahead of all of these other candidates, including very woke candidates, is because of Australia's stance on China. And this was a strong signal that there are a lot of other nations in the world that are very keen to follow the Australian approach and reward the Australian approach for standing up to China on all manner of issues. They look at what's happened here, how we've copped the trade, we've copped a lot, but we're standing up, and that's really something that the Morrison government can be very proud of.
Well, James, speaking of that, China's getting ready to preparing for combat, apparently, was one report in The Australian.